Hey there, my name is Jana, and today I want to talk about my first visit to a fertility clinic, kind of how we got there, how the appointment went, and what the next steps are. And it's been a while since I've sat down to kind of chat about my TTC situation, so I'm feeling pretty excited about it actually, because for me this almost feels like a personal diary that other people see and join in on, and like they support me and people share their stories with me too, and I can give support right back. So it's actually kind of nice. But anyways, if you haven't seen my other videos, I'll give you the super duper condensed no tears version. So I'm 26 years old. I've been trying to get pregnant for about 7 months, and I actually have been pregnant 3 times within these 7 months, and unfortunately all 3 pregnancies ended in a miscarriage. So my doctor, my OB, has done the full 9 yards of a workup. She's done my hormone testing, she's tested me for autoimmune diseases, she's tested my husband and myself for any genetic abnormalities, and everything came back completely normal, which is great, other than the fact that I keep having miscarriages, which is obviously not so great. So I figured at this point, why not go ahead and just get a second opinion and get more information if that's available to us? Why not? So I got super lucky because the fertility clinic that I chose didn't have appointments until 2 months out, but luckily they had a cancellation. So my husband and I were both able to go this past week, and I'm so glad that we did. I was very nervous leading up to the appointment. I kind of have been for any like OB related appointments. I get like butterflies in my stomach, my blood pressure goes through the roof, because I think I have like honestly a little bit of PTSD, because I've just gotten so much bad news there that I feel like my body feels it and like amps up for it to prepare myself for whatever's about to go down. But anyways, I had a very positive experience. I really liked the doctor. She spent a solid 30 minutes with us going through my full medical history, my husband's, some of his medical history, everything that's happened. And she was so patient answering all of our questions. She was very knowledgeable. And she gave me the first theory as to what might be going on and why this is happening to me over and over again. So she said that basically I'm kind of cursed with like a really sticky fertile uterus, which I know is probably very annoying for some people to hear that just are like, I just want to be pregnant. Look, I hear you, and it's maybe not the exact same situation, but you're not getting to the end goal of the baby that you want. So I know how hard it can be, and it's definitely a struggle. But she is saying that where most people, it probably takes them a while to get pregnant, I get pregnant very easily. I've gotten pregnant all 3 times on the first try. So what she thinks is happening is that my uterus is not discerning between a genetically normal versus abnormal embryo, and it's just kind of implanting and sticking onto pregnancies that it probably shouldn't. I do know that my first pregnancy ended because of trisomy 18, which is a random genetic mutation, and although I don't have the exact answer for the second 2 as to why they ended in a miscarriage, that's the doctor suspects that it was likely another genetic abnormality. So, I mean, at least I have somewhat of an answer. That was nice. It made me feel kind of like this isn't just happening to me, maybe there's a reason. But she also said that they don't know the mechanism of action for this. It's not like a super studied science, just kind of a trend that people are noticing at fertility clinics. Like the people that tend to get pregnant really, really easily and have recurrent miscarriages, like it happens repeatedly, that's probably what's going on, although it's not like 100%, but it was nice to have like somewhat of an answer. So next at the appointment, she went ahead and did an ultrasound just to make sure everything was anatomically normal. So it made sure that my uterus was like the right shape and location, and my ovaries were all good. And it was funny, she compared ovaries to chocolate chip cookies, and the follicles, or like the eggs, are the chocolate chips. And she's like, yeah, we're looking for like a lot of chocolate chips. And she looked at my ovaries and she's like, oh yeah, girl, you got like a lot of chocolate chips. So that was good. I'm glad that my ovaries are very chocolatey. But yeah, so everything looked normal there. So she told us that if we decided to do the natural route, the odds are like 60% that I would have a successful normal pregnancy, which to some people, if you don't have great odds, that might sound great to you, but to me, 60% kind of just sounds like a coin toss, like it could go either way. And after having had 3 miscarriages in a row and so quickly back to back, I just kind of feel like the fact that it's pretty likely that it could go that route again, I just don't know if I'm prepared to do that another time. I don't know, I'm sure I could do it. People do it and go through much harder things than I've gone through, I know that, but it sounds pretty terrible to me to have to face that again. It's very daunting. So she also offered us IVF, and the reason that she offered this is because they can test the embryos beforehand and confirm that they're genetically normal. So she said that if we decide to pursue IVF, the average number of normal embryos to get is 3. So one of the considerations for IVF is obviously, number one, that it ain't cheap. Like, it's expensive. I think it's gonna be $20,000 or more. I did confirm that my insurance will cover up to $10,000, so we'll end up spending $10,000 or more dollars, which is a really significant consideration. That's a lot of money. The next thing is that it's a process. So she said that the whole thing takes about 2.5 months, and there's a solid 2 weeks of it that like suck pretty hardcore, that you have to do a lot of hormone injections, you have to have a lot of appointments at the fertility clinic for checkups and things like that. I don't know everything about IVF yet because we haven't taken the next step of actually pursuing it. Actually, we just decided last night, my husband and I like shook hands on it, that like, this is what we're gonna do, partner. We're gonna pursue IVF. So that's likely gonna be the next step, but the doctor wanted to do a couple more tests just to like cross the T's, dot the I's, before she would kind of let us make our decision on if we wanted to pursue that or not. So one of them is an HSG, which I had never heard of before, but it's a scan of your uterus and your ovaries to make sure that there's not any scarring or fibroids or polyps or anything weird going on in there that might affect fertility. So I have to go to like an imaging lab place to get that done. I think they fill everything up with fluid and dye and take some pictures, and I don't know. So I have to go do that actually within the next couple of days. I had to get a ton more blood tests done. Some of them were repeats that I had already gotten done at my OB's office, but they hadn't sent the records over, but I just went ahead and did them again because there were other labs on the same form that I hadn't done. So I'm like, okay, instead of making her rewrite it, I'll just get more blood drawn, like 8 more vials of blood drawn. It was a lot of blood. That's a tangent, but so I'll wait until all of these tests come back, and they're probably, hopefully, most likely going to be normal, and in that case, we'll go ahead and confirm that we're gonna pursue IVF. That's scary. I'm anxious about it for sure. But I do feel like it's probably the best option to pursue at this point, just because lately I've been not doing my best mentally. Like I had like a pretty low point like for the last 2 weeks, and that's really out of character for me, but in light of everything that's happened, I think it makes a whole lot of sense that I would not be like 100% okay. I might be like a little bit unstable right now. So yeah, I think it would probably be another month or so until we would start IVF, but I don't know. It's daunting to try naturally. It's daunting to do IVF. Either way, but I think to get the end goal of what we really want, it's all going to be worth it. And I just kind of have to take everything step by step. I told my family, and he told his family a couple days ago, and I told my family yesterday and some friends, and everybody's been super supportive and so nice to us, which is great. I think I'm really, really lucky for the support system and the people that I have in my life. I think it's amazing. I also think it's amazing to have like this community right here, because I've met so many people online who just like care about hearing my story or want to share their story, and it's like, it's the worst club to be a part of for sure, but it's nice to have people who care and you can talk to. Like, I love whenever you guys leave comments and tell me about what's going on with you, or just like send me love. It like seriously brightens up my day, especially if it's not like that good of a day. Anyways, I feel like I'm rambling, but I will definitely update whenever I have more news to share. And I so appreciate you caring and following along. Feel free to comment whatever you want and I'll probably respond. But yeah, thanks so much for listening. I hope that you have a good day and I'll talk to you later.